Today we'll be going over this 4K Reolink wireless camera. It is outdoor rated, but we can certainly use it indoor too. It is not totally wireless as it still needs a wire to plug into the wall outlet for power. On the bottom you got the micro SD card slot, and if you ever need to factory reset, there's a reset button right there. I'm going to leave the SD card slot blank just because I'm going to use this with my own NVR, network video recorder. Here's a $20 bill for size comparison. You can see that it is relatively small, right? But on the side, it is actually really thick. In the back, there's the 1/4 inch mount. And of course, mounting kit is included. You got the wall anchor, the screws, even though you only need 2 of it. There's the reset tool. It's kind of like the SIM card ejector tool for phones. Mount this piece, the 2 holes right there, to the wall. Then screw this into the mount. Finally, screw this onto the back of the camera to hold it into place. You can swivel all around to any angles that you want. The camera itself, the cable and the back of it is about 3 feet long. Here's the other end of it. This is the power plug. It is outputting 5 volts and 1 amp. This longer cord is about 8 feet. If you ever need to make it even longer, then it's pretty easy to splice and then expand as you see later on. I don't know how waterproof this is, but it seems pretty easy for water to get in. I'm going to update in the comment section if anything changes in the future. To add camera onto your network, you'll need this Reolink app. Install it, then open. Click on Add New Device. Plug your camera in for power. The app will want to scan the QR code that is on the side of the camera. Once it scans the code, click on Configure Wi-Fi via Bluetooth. Click on Next. Check the box. Click on Next. Turn on your GPS on the phone if you haven't already. Click on Close, and it will try to find the camera. Allow Reolink to access GPS in the settings. I'm using Android, so I have to go to the locations. Click on App Permission, go all the way down and find Reolink. Click on Allow while using the app. Let's go back to the Reolink app and it should find the camera. Find your Wi-Fi network. You'll notice that this camera works on both 2.4 GHz or 5 GHz as well. That's really nice to have such options because most Wi-Fi cameras are still using the slower 2.4 GHz band. Go ahead and enter in your Wi-Fi password. Click on Next. Create a password for this camera and confirm it again. Click on Next. Name it whatever you want. I'll be placing this in my dining room. Yes, I have cameras indoor and I'm fine with that. As you saw in a previous video, I block all my cameras from ever getting online. You never know if Reolink is snooping in illegally or if some hackers got in. Click on Next. Finally, click on Finish. Click on the thumbnail to view a live stream of it. The app is pretty standard of any Reolink. The video quality is low by default. Click on this box to change it to clear to view in higher quality. You can click on this box to maximize to full screen. If you want to turn on the LED, click on the upper right hand corner that looks like a flashlight. There's so much settings to play with, and I covered some of that in the previous video here. Let's go into the settings. Click on the gear icon. What we want is to turn on RTSP for other apps to access the camera. Click on the camera's name. In my case, it's Dining. Click on Network Info. Go down to Advanced. Click on HTTP so you can control this camera from any web browser. Enable RTSP. And interestingly, it has OVIF, which is another open standard. Might as well enable it. Alright, I changed my mind. I'm going to install this camera outdoor instead. Here it is compared to the Tapo camera. The camera height-wise is much longer. The depth-wise is about the same. And of course, the width is about the same. Just a little bit chunkier, but not too much. So let's go ahead and take this Tapo out of the way. It is relatively easy. I believe this is magnetic. Just take it out and we're going to mount it on the same screw hole. Here's a quick comparison of the Tapo. On the side, there is a micro SD card slot. It uses USB-C. It's such a shame that this from Reolink is not USB-C, but it's okay. I'm going to trim off the wire for this Reolink later. We only need black and red for power. This uses the same 5 volt 1 amp, and of course this is 1 amp as well. Let's remove the base plate of the Tapo. It's too bad that these 2 holes don't align with these 2 holes. That's okay, I'm just going to use 1 hole. 1 hole on the top to hold the base is more than good enough. Here's a new base that's in place. It's held together by just 1 screw. The next thing we're going to do is grab the 1/4 inch, put it into this position, and then screw this whole thing into place. Let's try to do it one hand. Tilt as needed. We're going to screw this onto the camera. Similar to the Tapo, I just terminated the end right here. We just need red and black. We're going to connect it to our existing power supply. This plugs into the camera for power. Hopefully this is waterproof and we'll see how long it will last. Once all is said and done, this is what it should look like. Let's change the quality to HD. Click on the box that says low and then click on clear. Looks amazing, right? Let's see it in full screen mode. Wow, this is super clear. So much better than the Tapo. You can easily zoom in. Let's see if we can see the license plate of the other car. Yep, we can see a little bit. It's not clear, but yeah, it's definitely there just because it's due to the reflection of the light. The angle as well. Here's another license plate that we can certainly zoom into. Yep, it's all there. You can certainly turn on the lights on the upper right hand corner. Well, right now it's super bright, so you can't really see a difference. I'm going to be putting this in a driveway, but there are some places that I just don't want to get alerts. I really don't care about the neighbors in their driveway, so I'm just going to create a zone to trigger. So let's scroll down to alarm settings, go down to detection alarm, non-detection zone. We're going to paint some of the areas that we don't care about. If you mess up, click on erase so you can go back a little bit and then click on save. You can see how you can adjust the sensitivity for person, vehicles, and animals. Pretty slick, right? I'm choosing everything by default, so I'm just going to hit cancel. Oh yeah, just in case you're curious, all of these notifications are available in Home Assistant as binary sensors. Once you enable the RTSP, you can certainly log into it and view it from any app or program such as VLC. The format looks like this. It's RTSP://admin:, your password at the IP address / this yada yada yada. The stream is also available in the very low resolution 640 by 360 as seen here. The difference is the _01_sub. With the 4K stream, it's pretty clear, right? I mean, right now it's not super clear just because the camera is so up against the wall. Once you know the formats, go ahead and open up your VLC or any video program that can open up RTSP, Real-Time Streaming Protocol. Myself, I'm using VLC, so I'm just going to click on Media, open Network Stream, and type in the format I showed you previously and click on Play. This is the low resolution stream right now, so that's why the quality is pretty poor. I don't have a Reolink NVR laying around. I'm actually using Blue Iris as my NVR, so I'm going to add a camera to Blue Iris now. Let's click on Blue Iris and then click on Yes. Here are all my existing cameras. To add a camera, click on the plus icon on the upper right hand corner. Give it a name. The type will be network IP. Click on OK. Select RTSP:// Input your IP address of the camera on your network, and this is the format that you saw earlier. The username will be automatically filled in as admin, and then the password automatically moved to this field. Click on OK. Click on OK again. And there we go. The camera is now added successfully to Blue Iris. Pretty slick. Next, just for fun, I believe Reolink cameras work natively with Home Assistant. By the way, if this video is helpful, please consider subscribing and liking the video. This lets YouTube know my video is indeed helpful and will recommend to others like yourself. Enter in the username and password of the camera. In the host, type in the IP address and then click on Submit. I don't know why it took so long, but it finally found the camera. This area is actually in the driveway. You can enter in the area if you want, but I'm just going to leave it blank for now. Click on Finish. Let's go down a little bit to Reolink. Click on Devices. Click on Dining or whatever you named your camera initially. Here you have total control of the camera. If you click on the View, then you certainly see the camera live feed. It is not clear. It seems to be the substream when you preview. When you click on the floodlight, then yes, it should turn on the floodlights. Here are some simple detection for pet, person, motion, and even vehicle. Within configuration, there is sensitivity if you want to change that. Emails and events, you can turn it off. There's more option to control the floodlights based on the hours, for instance, I believe. Alright, hopefully this video helps you decide whether the Reolink wireless camera is good for your house, good for your use purpose. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and thanks for watching.